Kalir. In the end, the international community deciding to look past the blatant fraud in Congo-Kinshasa's elections, instead acknowledging the surprise win of Felix Tshisekedi at 56, the son of legendary opposition stalwart Etienne Tshisekedi, reaching out under the eye of his predecessor Joseph Kabila to an opposition that's contested the result.
I solemnly swear before God and the nation to observe and defend the Constitution and the laws of the Republic, to maintain its independence and its territorial integrity, to protect national unity, and to only let myself be guided by general interest and by human rights.
And he pressed all the right buttons in his speech, Rosie Kalir. There's a lot of expectations now, some saying he doesn't have long to prove himself.
No, not at all. And he has got to prove himself because, as you alluded to in the introduction, the vote was fraudulent, and that's been proven. Documents smuggled out of the country by the Electoral Commission and shared with RFI, the Financial Times, and other media, which clearly shows that Martin Fayulu, another opposition figure, won. But the rumours have it, although there's no evidence for this, that Tshisekedi, the now president, entered into some kind of agreement with the outgoing president, Joseph Kabila. So he really has to prove himself in the eyes of the international community and also 80 million Congolese people.
Fayulu's supporters have not been burning tires and mounting barricades. Why is that?
I think it comes down to tribal issues, and that's because Fayulu comes from a part of the country, southeast of the country, that is ethnically diverse, and so it'd be difficult for him, I think, to sort of rally troops around him enough to upset Tshisekedi. Tshisekedi's from Kasai region in the centre of the country, which is there's one main ethnic group there, make up about 4 million people who will definitely support their man. And so I think Fayulu realises he doesn't have boots on the ground, as it were, but also he is an intelligent man, ExxonMobil executive, has lived in many countries, a well-educated man, and also understands that the weight of the international community is behind Tshisekedi now. The AU, who at one point were asking for a recount, as were the EU asking for a recount, have backtracked in the past week. And so I think Fayulu realises that he doesn't have the support either on the ground, but also, I think, amongst the international community.
Yeah, the AU's acting president, rotating president, Paul Kagame, as you say, backtracking. One final question on this, which is, Tshisekedi, can he become his own man? We know that Joseph Kabila has left power, but still set to control parliament, still with a firm hand on the military for the time being.
That's what people are saying, is that because ultimately Joseph Kabila now, he stepped aside, but he's a senator for life. It's him who appointed the current constitutional court judge, the most powerful lawmaker in the country. And then also he's a man as the head of the army in Kulu. He was appointed a year and a half ago by outgoing president Joseph Kabila. So ultimately, he has influential people in influential places, Kabila, but that's not to say that Tshisekedi can't replace some of these people. Let's see. I think, but I think Tshisekedi can become his own man with the people if he was to release political prisoners. That would go a long way. And if he was to bring in two political heavyweights back into the country, so Moise Katumbi. He was hoping to run for president, but was barred from doing so and remains in exile. And also Jean-Pierre Bemba, who some will remember was released from the International Criminal Court last year, has a huge influence in the north of the country where various militias roam in that part of the country. And so also Tshisekedi, it'll be interesting to see what he does to bring those people into the fold. And they're massive amounts of supporters, those two men.
Turning our attention to